Ever wonder why some people just seem to get wealth while so many of us feel like we're just running in place? It's not about luck or some big secret. Turns out there's a blueprint, and today we're going to lay it all out.
It's a really frustrating question, isn't it? I mean, the paycheck lands, the bills fly out, and bam, you're right back where you started. It's like being on a financial hamster wheel, and it feels almost impossible to jump off.
This quote from our source material just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that feeling of being busy but not actually getting anywhere financially. So, how do we break the cycle? Well, it all starts with a huge shift in how we think.
Okay, so the very first piece of the puzzle is all about mindset. It's about making a conscious decision to shift your focus from what feels good right now to what will bring you incredible results down the road.
You can really see the two paths laid out here. On one side, you've got the mindset that most of us have, focused on today's bills, today's wants, today's comfort. But the wealthy? They're playing a completely different game. They're thinking years, even decades into the future. It's not about ignoring today, about not letting today steal from tomorrow.
Let's break this down into the small everyday choices, because that's where it really happens. The source points out things like grabbing fast food, buying a new shirt. They seem so small, right? But wealth is built by consistently choosing future growth over these little hits of immediate pleasure. It's all about delaying that vacation for a way, way bigger reward later.
Having a great mindset is awesome. But you know what? A great mindset without action is just a daydream. Mindset is the engine, but action is the fuel. So let's get into the choices that actually separate staying stuck from finding real freedom.
Now, be honest with yourself for a second. Do you really know where your money goes? Because for a lot of us, if we're being real, the answer is kinda. We know the big bills, but all those little leaks, that waste, as the source calls it, it's just to vanish into thin air.
And this is where everything can change. You simply cannot control what you don't measure. And listen, this isn't about restriction or guilty. It's about awareness. It's about power. Gaining this knowledge is the very first step to grabbing the steering wheel of your financial life.
This table lays it all out so clearly. You see the theme here, right? The common path is driven by fear and avoidance. Fear that money is too complicated, losing it. The wealth path, on the other hand, is driven by curiosity and growth. It's a proactive approach versus a purely reactive one.
Let's just focus on that income point for a second. The number one. According to our source, this is one of the biggest traps people fall into. Relying on a single paycheck creates a life that's incredibly fragile. I mean, think about it. One bad day at work, one layoff, and the whole house of cards can come tumbling down.
Wow, this quote really flips the script, doesn't it? We're so afraid of losing money in the market, but the real guaranteed loss is the one that happens quietly every single day. Inflation. The money you just have sitting there is becoming less valuable over time. So doing nothing, that actually becomes the biggest risk of all.
So we've covered mindset and we've covered action. But there's one more powerful, often invisible force that's pulling the strings, the people you surround yourself with.
That is a bold statement, I know, but when it comes to your finances, it is startlingly true. We're like social sponges. We just soak up the habits and the attitudes of the people in our circle, whether we realize it or not.
Just about it. If your friends are constantly overspending, it starts to feel normal. If your family never ever talks about money, it becomes this weird, taboo subject. Now, the source is clear. You can't always change your circle overnight, but you have total control over your response to their influence, and that's where your power really lies.
So, after all talk about mindset, action, and your environment, you're probably wondering, okay, what's the actual plan? Well, the good news is the blueprint for wealth isn't some complex secret. It's actually refreshingly simple, and it's built on just 3 pillars. This is the path forward. It's a total transformation built on small daily changes in how you think, how you spend, and how you use your time. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a proven system for building real, sustainable wealth.
And here they are, the 3 pillars that hold the entire structure up. First, discipline, to make the right choice when the easy one is so tempting. Second, patience, to understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And finally, consistency, to repeat those small, correct actions until they compound into something massive.
And that is the ultimate promise. The source material is very clear. Most people won't do this. They'll choose the comfort of today over the freedom of tomorrow. But if you embrace these principles, if you build your life on this blueprint, you will quietly and surely build a future that most people will only ever wish they had.